All right, what's good, everybody? It's another Monday night chill stream. Tiny hiccup with me shutting a few things down to try and to save resources. But welcome to the show. It is the 18th of April, Monday night. Um, a bunch of stuff going on. Nothing really going on in Bitcoin, but title of tonight's stream. I'll take this off. Let's take off the banner. Title of tonight's stream is Call of Dummy, Black Ops, right? And this, of course, refers to the New York City subway shooting recently that has gotten memory hold in like less than 48 hours. So everybody knows some black dude goes on the subway and he's got a Glock with an extendo mag. He fires 33 rounds. He misses 23 times. He wounds 10 people. He throws off a couple of cheap Chinese smoke bombs, drops the gun at the scene, drops his credit card at the scene, leaves the bag of smoke bombs at the scene. And the police and FBI can't catch him. He ends up having to call 911 himself, rat himself out where he is. He was like up in Alphabet City, like 6th Street and I'll say 6th Street and First Avenue or something like that. So he calls NYPD, they come looking for him. He's not there. he took a walk because whatever, because he's a retard. And they grabbed him a few blocks away. So this guy was a big deal for a short while, and like one of the strangest responses to this guy was that the office of the mayor, Eric Adams, they went to some subway station, I don't know which one it was, and they cleaned everything. Like if you've ever been in New York City subway, like sometimes the platforms will be clean and the walls will be clean, but the tracks and all the stuff in between the tracks, because there's multiple tracks, there's just trash everywhere. It's like tons of trash and whatever, Snapple bottles and everything you've ever seen. And they cleaned it all up, and they took a video of how clean the subway was. And I'm like, oh yeah, the cleanest place to die in all of New York City. I mean, the New York City subway. Why wouldn't you want to go back down there? So terrible propaganda thing that surely no one's buying. People are going to be avoiding the subway like the plague. They're jumpy as they could possibly be anytime they see a black dude, and rightly so. This guy, he was a Wakanda believer. One of the weirdest things about this guy was that he was 64 years old, or 62 years old when he did this, which is very rare because violent crimes like this usually are committed by much younger blacks. So it's odd that this, I don't know, maybe this was this guy's retirement plan. He didn't want Social Security, and he just wanted 3 hots and a cot for the rest of his life. So he decided to go do this. What was really going on in this guy's brain is not entirely clear. The one thing I mentioned earlier the other day was a Jonathan Paul show. But when I first saw this, I tweeted that it was something to do with the tribe, and I tweeted that not just because I'm like Jew happy, but because I ran into this Jewish guy that I knew when I did Uber back in the day, back in 2015, and I happened to bump into him when I was exchanging my radiator, my brand new radiator that leaked from the store when I was exchanging it at another store in Queens. I bumped into him literally as he walked out of the place. And we chatted for a bit, and he was all excited to see me. And I asked him if he was still driving for Uber. I couldn't believe he was still driving for Uber because he was such a terrible driver. He started out as a yellow cab driver, and he lost his license for rigging the meter and ripping off tourists and stuff. And he's whatever. He's lost every job he's ever had. But he got a gig driving as a personal driver, a chauffeur, or whatever, for some rabbi that he claims is a big shot rabbi in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. And so when the Wakandan commando decided to go on his rampage, and they said Sunset Park, I said, oh man, because I just ran into that guy Simon like 8 weeks ago, I was like, this must have something to do with the tribe. I was wrong. So whatever. I jumped to a conclusion. I tweeted that out. I was incorrect. I am the only man who's ever been wrong on the internet. Everyone else is right 100% of the time, except for me. But even though I was wrong once, I'm still mostly, I would put my batting average up against anyone else's batting average. But it's with looking at the stuff I've seen on social media, with these screenshots and screen grabs that I got, I just try to extrapolate from what I see. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Is this likely to get better, or is this likely to get worse? And the answer is it's likely to get worse. I was doing like a lot of doom porn, as they say, a lot of doom and gloom stuff, which a lot of people don't like, except I don't think sticking your head in the sand is a good way to manage your affairs. And you may say, well, this isn't going to affect me. It's whatever. It's New York. I don't live in New York. But, like 9/11 happened in New York, right? And you probably don't live in New York City. But some event that happened in New York City ended up changing a lot of things globally, but even nationwide, right? The Patriot Act, the surveillance state, blah, 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 blah. Everyone looking at each other suspicious. Is that a Muslim extremist? Is that, Does that guy have a bomb in his backpack? All this sort of thing, right? So in a relatively small event or a non-event, I don't know how you want to view 9/11, right? Very far away from you can have an effect when it's amplified by media and the government starts getting involved with this. So let's find a screen share, because this one, I saw this just before I got ready for the show. And this struck me as being, what I shouldn't do that. I should do this. All right. I should do that. Okay, that's we're not work. It doesn't want to work. Why doesn't it want to work? It does this to me on purpose. How about we do that? We've been having trouble connecting. We'll keep trying. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that. But there was a story just from today. So they grabbed some FBI guy out of wherever, and in order to explain the nature of particularly black spree shooters, shoot an enormous number of rounds and almost never kill anyone. There was a couple of years ago, a year or two ago, like right around when COVID was just starting to kick off, in Jersey City, there was a member of the Hebrew Israelites. It was like a husband and wife team or a male and female team. They shot some greengrocers that were Jewish, or that the place used to be run by Jews. Anyway, this guy, I think they shot and killed them, and then they holed up inside some building in Jersey City, and they fired 200-300 rounds, and didn't manage to hit anyone other than the first two victims. So it was like 300 rounds, 2 casualties, and okay, here we go. Where is it? This one. This I found to be, I keep thinking I'm going to be surprised. I keep thinking, wow, this is like, who could possibly have envisioned this? But, when I tell people it's, things are going to so crazy, you won't be able to tell reality from your own twisted imagination. All right, this thing is working. The computer's working super slow tonight. I'm not really sure why that is. It's just not. Maybe it's an Easter thing. I didn't get. I did not get enough. What? I didn't give my computer chocolate or something. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. All right, a little bit larger for everyone to see. See a picture of this guy. This. Of all the news articles around this guy, this one was, I think, in some ways the most telling, right? Because I think it hints at what is to come, and the attempts to manage behaviors from people who really don't like to behave. You know what I mean? And like to act out their unhappiness in a physical way. Most of those people are non-whites. I'm not saying white people never do it, but most of them non-whites. So here it is. This is from Newsweek. This 2 days ago, right? Subway shooter Frank James not aiming to kill is a plausible idea. So Newsweek and the FBI have teamed up, right, to tell you that he was just funning. He's just a knucklehead. He playing. You know what I mean? He just playing. Don't worry about it. He didn't really want to shoot people like fish in a barrel inside a moving subway car. It's like a joke. You have to understand he's a special kind of person. He likes to laugh and cut up and wait until the subway doors close and shoot people like fish in a barrel, while dressed as a construction worker with a mask on and rubber gloves, to keep his fingerprints off of everything, and then drop his gun and his credit card and his bag full of stuff that has his fingerprints all over it, and waddle away, because this is one very well-fed spree killer. And one of his hobbies was to leave 1-star reviews on Yelp, that restaurant app where you can review different restaurants. So he would leave a lot of 1-star reviews. He actually lived in New York City. He lived uptown in Harlem. So he knew the city, he knew the subway. But if you've seen the video of him, and you'd have to see it on like Instagram or Twitter, some of the social media platform, he could not figure out how to get through the turnstile. He was, obviously he's got mass murder on his mind. He couldn't figure out how to use the card to get through this turnstile, and ended up having to like con the MTA worker into like opening the gate, like he was an MTA worker as well. And they don't care, because it's just another black dude. It's a black dude in the booth letting a black dude in the orange vest. They're supposed to say MTA, but his didn't say that. Whatever, let him through anyway. And then, of course, this guy completely screwed shit up, which is good, because I don't want to see people die. And I mentioned that the great thing about this is nobody died, right? This is one of the great things about this. Nobody died. And everybody on that subway platform is going to get paid huge money, gigantic money, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they'll never have to work again. The people who got shot, they're not going back to work. They're going home. They're going to put their feet up. Doesn't matter what their job is. They're never going to work again. They're just going to wait for the multi-million-dollar check. There was some stuff on social media that some people stopped and took selfies with their phone. They held up their phone and they were doing like the selfie thing while the smoke was still swirling around. And people on Twitter were like, yeah, right. Who stops to take a selfie? You'd be surprised. You'd really like, one, it's to prove you were there for the lawsuit. You know what I mean? And if you think that doesn't happen, you're very naive. When I drove taxis, if there was like snow, people would tell me to hit a telephone pole. They'd say, hit the pole, we'll sue. Like, for people to make millions or multiple millions of dollars for doing nothing, for pretending to be injured, even if they really got to be injured, they don't give a fuck. Give me the millions. I don't want to work no more. A lot of the people on Twitter fail to understand how powerful it is. Fuck it, man, we'll sue. Fuck it. Yeah, man, do it. We'll sue. You have no idea how many times I heard that. I heard that dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And not just from blacks, you know what I mean? From poor whites as well, So this is really common. What people would be willing to do, what type of injuries they would be willing to sustain to never have to fucking work again, and to have a life of whatever you want, whenever you want. A lot of people are willing to be the richest motherfucker in a wheelchair, in the zip code. Like you might not think that that's rational, but I assure you, people have openly expressed that to me many, many times, even during way back during the 90s. So it's that somebody would stop to take a selfie in the middle of a terror attack, with smoke swirling around them. Yeah, that's what it's not. These people going, yeah, right. Yeah, he dropped his gun at the scene. Yeah, he dropped his credit card at the scene. Sure, I believe that. They're trying to compare it to like 9/11 or something like that with the passport that they found in the street. It's not at the same level. It's not at the same level of a building, of a plane going through a building and blowing up, and then the building falling down, and then the passport being, after all that, becoming completely undamaged in the middle of the street. That's impossible. But people, doing the yo, what's up? That meme of the dudes at the graveyard. You know what I mean? There's some dudes at the graveyard like this. There's a grave behind them, and they're like, that meme's been around for a while, and it's legit in the sense. And the reason why it survives is because people really do that. It's all about me, more of me. And then what do you think about me? And after you're done talking about me, tell me what you think about what I think about you thinking about me. People are insanely solipsistic. You know what I mean? They have they are the center of their own universe, and that's that. And everything in the culture, the reality reality star culture, absolutely supports that and enhances that again and again all over the place. And this is the world you live in, whether you like it or not. And it could have a very profound effect on you, whether you like it or not. So there was that guy. And then there was the Grand Rapids dude. There's a dude his parents are from Congo. I don't know what they're doing in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Parents don't speak English. They probably got great jobs and own a fucking house somehow. Coming from the Congo, not speaking English, but he got stopped, traffic stop, altercation with the cop. The cop's body cam was off, but this was caught by like a neighbor's doorbell camera. Cop tries to physically restrain him. That doesn't work. Cop goes to the taser once. It doesn't work. Taser twice. It doesn't work. A scuffle ensues. The guy manages to grab the taser away from the cop, and then he's holding it. He's sort of face down on some a grassy area, and the cop's saying, "Let go of the taser," and he's resting on. But the cop's sitting on this guy's back. You know what I mean? He's mounted on this guy's back. This guy's face down. Guy won't let go of the taser, and what fucking happens? Boom! Officer Friendly pops him in the fucking skull, and that's it. Now, you could argue that nothing of value was lost, but this is like the fucking worst fucking video. This looks terrible. I don't know what arguments you could make that it was deserved or it was justified or it was unjustified, but in the moment, this cop could not figure a better way to do this than he did. And will this get picked up and become the next George Floyd? Remember, Derek Chauvin got 20 years to life. He got convicted of murder for putting handcuffs on a crackhead. He didn't shoot him. He didn't beat him. He didn't tase him. He didn't pepper spray him. He just put handcuffs on the guy and laid him on the ground. Right. And George Floyd asked to be laid on the ground. If you ever watch a body cam video, George Floyd actually asked to be laid on the ground. So the hysteria that can be whipped up with the right people in charge driving a story changed a lot of things, right? There's 2 years worth of riots. Trump got kicked out of office and we got Biden. So will this thing blow up that big? I don't know. But the problem with these sort of incidents in social media is that they feed off each other. There's a culture of this is going to make me famous. And I'll show you a good example of this. There's tons of stuff like this. There's tons of stuff like this. And I don't think a lot of people understand how bad it is. Where's the one I want to say? Which one do I want? Oh, here we go. Right. I try to put different clever email titles, so I'll know which emails I'm actually looking at, which ones are the ones I want to show, which ones are the ones I've already shown. Come on, show me. This is not the newest thing, but I promise you, this feeds off itself. This becomes a self-reinforcing feedback loop, you know. Waiting. We're still waiting. Come on, show the picture. Wow, this is an exercise in patience. Here we go. There he is. There he is. There we go. Let's screen share this one. This is another story that you've never heard. It happens. It's more common than you think. And my point of this Grand Rapids thing, and even the New York City thing is that people see this and they see the fame and it excites them and they want to do that. And in particular, you've seen stuff like this before. The good boys love being famous. They know they're going back into jail. They know they're going back in the system. And the social media, like, it validates their their status. You know what I mean? So the story from when was it? April 7th of this year. Man posted video on Facebook of himself beating victim who later died. So this guy had some sort of beef, and this is out of Minneapolis, George Floyd territory. Right? This guy had a beef with someone as a videographer. Right? He goes in, beats the guy, you know, and he's telling the videographer, make sure to get this, watch, film this, film this, film this. Right. And the woman's like laughing, oh my God, oh my God. And then they leave, and of course the victim later dies. But that's this guy's highlight reel. This is his highlight reel when he goes into jail, when he goes into prison. That's what you don't understand. And these people who are not like you, who don't think like you and don't behave like you, this is fame to them. This is money to them. And it isn't going to stop. It isn't going to stop, and it isn't going to get less bad, and the stories aren't going to get less bad, less crazy. And what that, you know, when people say, well, you're like your old doom and gloom and doom porn, what I'm trying to do is tell you to honestly understand the environment going forward, and that you will be, like it or not, confronted with this, or people who are reacting to this, whether or not it actually happens physically near you. Other people who are going to be seeing this stuff on Instagram, on these other platforms, on Facebook, whatever. There was this shootout in house party in Pittsburgh, where, you know, it was a complete fucking mess of, I don't know how many people got shot in a house party outside of Pittsburgh. You say, well, that's been going on for years. Yeah, and it's only getting worse, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse. And to just poo-poo it and dismiss it like, well, this isn't going to affect me, I think it's going to affect you. I really think it's going to affect you. Whether you believe that or you don't believe that, it's going to have a profound effect. What is it? What did I? Let's click on this one. And then you have the so-called responsible media, the professional media, agitating to make people crazy. Come on, show this. Right, this is from the New York Post, and for people with an agenda who are, what is this designed to do other than incite people to violence, incite people to riot? What could possibly be the point of this shit that, by the way, never actually fucking happened? You could file this under this shit never fucking happened. But somebody got paid to write the story. From the New York Post, gun teacher tells black students to lick the chicken grease off their fingers. Supposedly, the story is by a guy named Yaron Steinbach, which I think is someone, a member of the tribe, which is interesting. And then below you see a graphic of a gangster-looking dude holding a Glock sideways with a bandana over his face, next to some block type that says "firearm safety for black people." So they took, somebody's running a course of, basic firearm safety for blacks, and then people with an agenda decide to just make up that the gun teacher, right, tells black students, lick the chicken grease off their fingers. Yeah, there's no way someone actually wrote this. Yeah, this was in the New York Post, So is the New York Post worse than the New York Times? I don't know. I don't know. There's no comparing it anymore. So a lot of people are going to read this, and a lot of brown people are going to read this, and they're going to believe that, And what could the purpose of that be? Why would you why would you want to convince people that that happened? I don't know, unless they don't want unless they don't want black people handling firearms in a safe and legal fashion. So, but whatever. There are protests. There's all kinds of craziness. The Grand Rapids thing that I was telling you about, where the Congolese immigrant takes the cop's taser, and the cop has him mounted from behind and shoots him one shot in the back of the head, and it's all on video. Sparked a protest, and the people that showed up at the protest are who you would expect to show up at the protest. And this is a screenshot somebody with greater internet skills I grabbed. And as I tweeted about this, that normally I'm against black on white violence, but in this case, I'll make an exception. And there it is. This is the protest to protest this guy getting his melon popped by the Grand Rapids PD. And the black cop who straight dropped this fucking monster. And this is one of those, this is not a black, it's a female, this is a white male with pronouns kind of thing. There's underneath that fishnet arm dress, there's tattoos and shit. The mask they're wearing happens to look like a fucking clown nose. And that hair, it's like, if you see the video, it's perfect, man. He clipping it, and that fat fuck drops like you would, like, straight down. And of course, there's a bunch of screaming females there, other screaming females of color complaining about that, and they cuff the guy and they take him away. But yeah, it's insane beyond anything you've seen and anything you can deal with. And the urge to stick your head in the sand is probably going to be super strong. That's just a real good strategy. That's not a real good strategy at all. You know, thinking that all of this is because people got nanobots injected in their arms, and the CIA is they're activating the nanobots inside their bloodstream from the Pfizer vax to make them behave this way. No, there's just fucking crazy people out there. There's crazy people on drugs. There's crazy people get access to weapons. There's crazy people that dress like women and go to protest. Like, you have to accept that there's crazy people in this world, and you need to be aware of who they are, and don't be around them when they go off. And that's that. It isn't nanobots controlled by a satellite making people crazy. These motherfuckers were always crazy. You know what I mean? Add drugs to the mix, add some exciting news, like the subway shooting, like this, the Grand Rapids shooting or whatever. And then you're going to have bizarre, irrational behavior. And that's going to be caught on video and sent around the various different social media. And that's going to affect other people who are kind of marginal, and on it goes. It's going to, like I said, it's going to be a feedback loop that reinforces itself. And it's not, I see this as making real changes in policing, in the sense that the police will not be able to use lethal force, certainly not for like traffic stops, which is not wrong, because that's probably not real good. That's not a great idea in most cases. But the criminality and out of control behavior. This one is from Texas. That was on video. This is I don't remember what the name of this supermarket chain was, but where is this individual? I think was it in Houston? Houston has some of the poorest and also some of the wealthiest zip codes in all of Texas. I don't know if it's all of America, but in all of Texas. In this case, right? In this specific case, This black female went into the supermarket, loaded the shopping cart only with beef, like all beef products, steaks, all sorts of different meat. Walked out without paying. The white female is videoing her. She's a supermarket employee. The woman is loading all the food into the trunk of a white Chrysler 300, which is, it's not a great car, but it was a brand new Chrysler 300, and drives off. You know what I mean? The supermarket employees are not allowed to stop people. And whatever, a month ago or 6 weeks ago, when I said, they're going to put shoplift electronic alarms on steaks. You probably thought, well, oh, come on, that's no big deal. I'm telling you, it's going to happen everywhere. Supermarkets cannot stay in business allowing people to steal all of the food. This will, again, I'm not saying this just to make you unhappy, but prepare yourself for the type of behaviors that are going to drive changes that you currently don't expect, like real social changes. These businesses can't stay in business, right? You can't you say, well, that's just one woman. Listen, it's going to get, as the money stops working, it doesn't buy what it used to buy. More and more people are going to do this. It's not going to be one fat woman in Houston, Texas, stealing, a ton of beef for, the cookout and the family reunion. It's going to be bigger. And this will affect you. One way or another, it's going to affect you. And don't be surprised. Try and prepare for it now. Try and be aware of stuff like this. And if you see something like this happening, just get out of there. Don't stick around for whatever's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen, do not stick around. Do not stick around. I got in trouble with Twitter. I put in Twitter jail for like 12 hours. I can't even remember why. That's how much of a social media gangster I am, bro. You want to talk about keeping it real? Let me show you how I keep it real and how I fight the man. This is me fighting the man. And I think I actually was insulting like a right-wing account, believe it or not. So I don't know if they picked on me because it looks like, oh no, we censor everyone, even the ones who pick on right-wingers. So what is this? It says, what happened? We have determined that your account violated Twitter rules, specifically that violating our rules against hateful conduct, blah, 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 delete the tweet, 12-hour ban, wait, whatever, delete the tweet. So big fucking deal. Twitter jail, Facebook jail. As long as I don't have to go to real jail with actual black people, it's all pretty easy to deal with. It's all right. What else? Okay. And when it talk about the bright future here. Now let's tie this back into Bitcoin. Everything has to be tied back into Bitcoin, of course. Because everything is related to Bitcoin, whether you know it or you don't know it, which by the way, I think we're still going sideways at like 39, 40,000. Why that is, his guess, I don't know. But definitely provides time for you to accumulate more at relatively low prices. And some people will say $40,000 is not cheap. Well, we'll see about that. We shall see about that. Okay. This is from the CEO of Kraken, which is I think maybe the largest in the world. They have an American branch. They have Kraken USA because America is where the money's at. This was from April 6th of this year. The CEO's name is Jesse Powell. He puts out from the company press release, we shut down Kraken's global headquarters on Market Street in San Francisco after numerous employees were attacked, harassed, and robbed on their way to and from the office. Business partners were afraid to visit after being victimized. Crime, mental illness, and drug abuse are out of control in the city, which is dramatically underreported because it's so commonplace. The police are known to arrest the same offenders dozens of times, thanks to the district attorney, Chisa Boudin's, I think that's her name, I might have botched that, catch and release program, which has resulted in numerous preventable murders of innocent people. This is the CEO of one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges on the planet. San Francisco is not safe and will not be safe until we have a DA who puts the rights of law-abiding citizens above those of the street criminals he so ingloriously protects. So this guy's absolutely an elite and doesn't understand that this DA is following his marching orders, right? There's an ideological worldview that the DA has, that San Francisco has, that California has, that is at odds with people going to and from work in a civilized fashion without being harassed, victimized, robbed, and in other cases, murdered. So this guy from Kraken, he's a one percenter, and he doesn't get it. Like, and I've said this before. I've mentioned different things. That these people don't realize that they caused all the problems. In a lot of ways, they drove the problems. But someone like these tech guys, these crypto people, they're looking to create jobs. They want to their corporate headquarters, their global headquarters was going to be in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Silicon Valley, West Coast, high tech, blah, 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 blah. They had to leave. They had to leave because San Francisco is so impossible. So the question becomes, when everyone else leaves, when everyone else, a rational person, flees, what happens to these cities? What happens to these cities? When everything's behind plexiglass, would you let people starve? They don't have any money. Like, this is a situation that has only negative endings. And I don't think, and for those really higher up, the Bidens and their Jesus Christ, this one, I'm going to warn you on this one. You literally might want to turn your monitor off, because you're not going to want to see this. But when is this from? I don't remember. This was like a little, not that long ago. But the people put in charge of the people that they use as the front man, or the faces of their policies. This is like, again, I'm warning you on this next screen share, like, you're not going to like what you see, but whatever. This is a real thing. This is not made up. I will leave it up the bare minimum amount of time I need to in order to get my point across. So what do we got? Where are we at? There we go. Climate crusader Lizzo poses while boarding another private jet. So this is some enormous black female wearing a thong with her enormous black ass, literally walking into a private jet, and she is a climate activist. You think, no, like, there's no way this really happened. Yes, way, it really happened. So, and I warned you, by the way, to turn off your monitors, because you're not going to want to see this. But this is not as crazy as it's going to get. This is nowhere near as crazy. This is the preview of really fucking crazy. This is the lighthearted, enjoyable part. where you can laugh at it. You go, look how insane that is, and you don't have to agree that this insanity is normal. That's coming later, but this is, yeah, $10,500 an hour for that fucking she-boon to sit her enormous fat ass on, a custom leather seat to fly somewhere to tell you, I don't know, you're not allowed to use your air conditioner, right? You have to cut back. You can't eat meat. You can't have this. You can't have that because the environment and people, and no one is, well, people respect that and they go along with that. As like, that's how insane it is. It's the depths of insanity you haven't seen yet. You're just seeing the surface of it, but you're going to see the depths of it, and you are not going to like it. Which brings me to my favorite straw man to beat on, which is the hero that's coming to save you, right? You think it's Elon Musk. Oh boy, Elon Musk, he's going to buy Twitter, and then we'll all be able to say fuck slavery and fuck the Holocaust, and then we'll all have free speech. Everybody that's into free speech that now thinks free speech is great doesn't understand that free speech started with democracy, and they're all democracy haters. So you're so fucked in the head. You're like whatever. You're like climate change black thong lady getting on the fucking plane. That's how fucking twisted up you are. First off, no one's coming to save you. I've said this 100 times. I'll say it 100 more times. No one's coming to save you. You have to be an active participant in your own rescue. And if you think someone's coming to save you, like, who are you? Are you Rapunzel? Like, are you some damsel in distress? Is that how you really think you are? Like, oh, somebody come rescue me, Mr. Strongman, Mr. fucking Ferdinand Francisco Franco, Mr. Whatever, what's his name? Free helicopter rides guy. Pinochet, it's going to be Pinochet. No, it's like, you're not a damsel in distress, right? There's no knight in shining armor coming to fucking rescue you. That's not happening, bro. Okay. And if it is, you're not worth rescuing. First off, you're not a man, right? You're thinking like a girl. Oh, save me, save me. You think like a child or a female. You're not worth saving. Your life is literally not worth saving. It's probably not worth fucking living. You need to change your expectations and your actions. And I suggest you do it voluntarily and forced, because circumstances are going to force you. I've said this before. I don't know exactly when this is going to happen, but like, no one could, who could fucking say, oh yeah, we're going to have whatever, an enormously overweight black female in a thong flying around in a private jet telling you about fucking climate change. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking, like, I see all this stuff and I think, holy shit, they got to be trolling me in person. Like, they must be thinking deliberately of how to fucking troll me. This is from, not quite super recently, but a little bit. Not this month at any rate. So here's the war we are in. They have come, ladies and gentlemen, they have come for Bitcoin. They're after us. But they have been after us for quite some time. And we are laughing. So, oh wow, this of course this one shows up in two fucking seconds. What's it say? From Ghost of Nakadai. I don't know, it's one of those fucking Weibo fucking accounts, but it says, now they're talking about white male domination in the Bitcoin space. What the fuck is happening? What's happening? The communists are here, and they are the foot soldiers of the central bankers. Okay, they are the foot soldiers of the central bankers. This was around that Bitcoin Miami conference. Oh, we need more brown voices in Bitcoin, or some stupid shit. Like, listen, And then everyone's like, oh, but Bitcoin's for everyone. Listen, fuck you. No, right? Like, no. You are useless. You are useless, mentally ill fucking child molesters, right? And money is justice. You don't deserve any of it, right? You deserve to starve to death, in my opinion. If that was legal to do. If it's not legal to do, then you don't deserve that. But if the law changes and it was like legal to starve you to death, I would not oppose that. So after that, we got this one. This I thought was particularly funny bit of FUD. Again, fear, uncertainty, doubt. It's all about getting in your head and changing how you think. Do not let them do that. Do not let them do that. I told you they will try anything. They will say anything nonstop, like nonstop 24/7 assault on your brain to get you away from owning and custodying your own Bitcoin. And that is whatever they want you to do, you really, 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 really need to do the opposite. You really need to do the opposite. These are not good people. They're not even nice to their own families. Do the opposite of what they say. So this is also from the New York Post. Bitcoin fans are psychopaths who don't care about anyone. This is from April 12th of this year. So I would hope that this channel is mostly people like myself who are psychopaths who don't care about anyone else. Yeah, that's why we're doing what we're doing. I don't, they're looking to do anything they can, right, to stigmatize you. Again, FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, and you have to recognize it for what it is, and literally use this as fuel. At least what I do. One of the I use this shit as fuel to fucking just to stack more. You know what I mean? To be determined the next time I get a lump of money to smash up the buy button. Speaking of which, the biggest news. I said there wasn't much news this weekend in Bitcoin. This. So this is the new Gemini MasterCard, right? I get an account with Gemini. They have a MasterCard. It's a regular credit card, like any other credit card. Well, not really, not like any other one, because it has no numbers on it, right? So if you lose it, no one can even steal it from you. They can't get the account number. You spend fiat, you get Bitcoin rewards. Holy crap. So I have probably, I don't know, $1,400-$1,500 a month easily in expenses that like every month, probably more. 1% back on everything, 2% on groceries, 3% on dining out. So what does that mean? I got like $10 worth of free Bitcoin this week. You know what I mean? Just buying gas, coffee, sandwiches, blah, 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 blah. This is fucking awesome. My cell phone's on the card. I switched everything over to that. So I will be stacking as I drive up and down. Every time I go to a toll booth on 95 or across the Delaware Memorial Bridge, instead of thinking, fuck, I just paid a toll, I'll think, oh, hooray, I just got 39 cents worth of Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So that's good for me. And MasterCard would not be giving out Bitcoin rewards if it was not something of a big deal. But and they had some sort of announcement that, like, I don't know, I think it was just to hype the card, like what a big deal this is. And I think it's just them hyping the card. I don't think they have enough data yet to know that this is going to be that important, other than I guess maybe everyone's interested in it. So, all right, so there's that. What else? I got a couple of things. I got stuff written down, but I'm trying to get through all these screenshots. Trying to get through the massive amount of did I show? I think I showed this one, right? Yeah, I think I did. Sure, just let me see. I think I've gone through just about everything. So let me look at my notes. A couple of things I wrote down, and this is what I think is going to fuel some craziness. Oh wait. Hold on. It's got to be. Where's where is no. Oh, that's it. This is how dark my fucking humor is these days. This is how dark my humor is. If you don't spend a lot of time on public roads, but I spend, of course, a lot of time on public roads. Which, by the way, I haven't noticed anybody smoking weed at all. I don't smell marijuana like I used to smell marijuana. But if you ever look at these dudes who are, they get these customized Toyotas and Hondas and whatever, these custom cars like Fast and Furious, or pickup trucks and different custom vehicles. They have bumper stickers or a series of stickers on their car that says "All hustle, no luck." You know what I mean? Meaning like whatever that they're, they earned this bling, they earned this shiny metal box on wheels that you were so impressed with. So I thought to myself, hey, I should get one of those bumper stickers. Like I should get one of those stickers and put it in the window of my car. And then I thought to myself, well, stop being retarded. Like just make one up. You got a paper and magic markers. So yeah, that's what I did. I just I put this. If you ever see this on the roads, you see a little blue Toyota. Come on, get bigger. With this sign in the rear window, wave to me as you go by. Just give a nice wave. So there it is. All hustle, no luck. The sign that truly belongs on a 2006 Toyota Matrix with 325,000 miles on the odometer. That is the truest sign hung on a car there may be in America's public roads today. But anyway, that was my idea of a joke. A lot of people like to put their profoundly meaningful bumper stickers that are things they need to communicate to the world. So I thought, you know what, this is something that I need to communicate to the world. All right, almost, yeah, all right. Yeah, almost all done. The other thing that I think is important is the NYSERPA verdict. And this, I think, is just going to add to the craziness. What is NYSERPA? NYSERPA stands for New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. It's a Second Amendment thing. I mentioned it was a big Second Amendment case heard by the Supreme Court last November before Shaniqua, the quadroon Jewess, got on the court, which you knew she was getting right in. Like you knew she's like, I don't know. I give child molesters light sentences and I can't tell a boy from a girl. Boom, right onto the Supreme Court. No one's going to oppose that. You know what I mean? Do you know what a woman is? No, I have no idea. Okay, confirmed. So you knew that was going to happen, right? They had to, and that particularly her, that signals where the court's going to go. That signals how the culture is going to be pushed towards transgenderism and puberty blockers and all this stuff. None of it's going away. They installed someone with a sympathetic worldview to them on the Supreme Court. Yes, it's only one, but we'll see where it goes. Anyway, NYSERPA, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. This is like a case that's been winding its way through the courts for like 30 years. And it has to do with the state of New York denying concealed handgun permits to someone, citizens, because saying they have no special need for a permit. Like you're not carrying large amounts of money or whatever. And this challenges that whole special needs legal fiction, which is used in New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, a bunch of other places. So I think the 9 so-called may issue states, 9 states that are considered may issue, whereas every other state is shall issue, or now that's 25 states that are constitutional carry. And what that means is you don't even need a permit. The state's not even going to issue a permit. You can just, as long as you're not a felon or a lunatic, you can carry a gun. Why does this matter? Well, the oral arguments were last November. The ruling is expected in this June. And looking at the New York papers and a few other, like the few times I'm around TV, because I don't own a TV, the ghost gun thing is like a big deal. They're like crazy with this. And to the subway shooter, people said, it's a psyop because Joe Biden did a big thing on firearms. He handled some sort of gun parts on TV. And then the next day there's a spree shooting. It must be a psyop. No, the White House and the people behind the White House are very worried about the Supreme Court ruling that it's going to go against them. And it's very likely to go against them. And that's going to have relatively big implications, because when you have, somebody stealing all the steaks from the supermarket, and the employee trying to stop them, Joey's Second Amendment may think, let me help, and that's a bad fucking idea, right? And there will be a number of things that will be legit, you know what I mean? Where people will start exercising their constitutional rights, and it's going to be caught on video. And then, how many law-abiding people can you put in prison for exercising their constitutional rights? I don't know. We're living in a world where the kid Kyle Rittenhouse, the last guy who tried to shoot him, the one he shot in the arm, the last guy to attack him, had a pistol. That guy was a convicted felon. What's he doing with a pistol? You know what I mean? That convicted felon testified against Kyle Rittenhouse in court. Why? He should be sitting in a jail cell. If you're a felon, you do not have your constitutional rights anymore. You're not allowed to vote. You're not allowed to have guns. You're not allowed to do a lot of things. You're not allowed to sit in the jury, right? You're a felon. So how did this guy, in Minneapolis or Kenosha, Wisconsin, a felon who was chasing some 18-year-old kid down the street with a gun is free to go about his business. And they caught that guy. They caught him on video saying, "Oh, I should have shot that kid when I had the chance." The world is crazy fucked up. But if a lot of Americans feel like, well, it's Supreme Court, the official rule is I'm allowed to do this, it adds a lot of chaos to an already insane mix. That's what I think we're looking for, is the weather gets warmer and warmer. And this ruling, the NYSERPA ruling, is expected in June, like right in the middle of fucking summer. So, boy, what's going to happen? I don't know. Like it's going to get crazy interesting, but understand it's going to be stupid people and crazy people. It's not nanobots in the vaccine that are activated by CIA satellites. That's not what's driving it. It's just fucking crazy people acting crazy, and then these social media giving it a platform. And then, like I said, whether it affects you directly or doesn't affect you directly, the people around you may be affected by it. They may be made more nervous, more neurotic, more terrified. It's going to have the law of unintended consequences is going to, or the principle of unintended consequences is going to be in full effect. You know what I mean? It's really going to come out, and buckle up, because it's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a wild ride. So yeah, I think it covers about everything for this week. This very boring week in Bitcoin where nothing happened except the MasterCard came out, which is exciting to me, probably not so exciting to anyone else, unless, of course, you've joined the cool club like I have. So I would get you one. That way you can just do your regular life and still stack Bitcoin. What the fuck? Because, listen, the money printer, like nothing's changed with the money printer. You know what I mean? You're not going to beat the money printer. They're not going to stop printing. The behaviors aren't going to get better. No one's coming to their senses. And every time you step out your door, that's a lunatic asylum. It's going to take its toll on you. It's really going to take its toll on you. So it's important for you to be really clear and understand how to determine what's real and what's bullshit, and not to engage too much with, particularly with, when the FBI comes out and goes, by the way, the subway shooter didn't really want to kill anybody. Judas Fly Chai, the based Persian Michelin guy, coming over from the Norvin stream, I would guess. Is Norvin done whatever? Or were you Norvin stream, or were you at the pedophile stream? The Fed or the Fed O or the Pedo? Not sure which. See, I was just about to wrap things up, and then people start showing up. I started this one late, but the world getting crazier and crazier, and it's not going to slow down. And it is because Norvin is streaming. Of course, he's streaming. You know what I mean? If I was getting a paycheck from the FBI, I would stream a lot more often as well. I wouldn't have to fucking do the stuff that I'm doing. I wouldn't have to work as hard as I work. I could get paid from Quantico, Virginia, instead of having to fucking hustle like I have to hustle. You know what I mean? I am all hustle, no luck. That is the story of my life. But you know what? To be honest, it's probably a better life than a lot of people have had, than many people have had, even though they have more material resources than I, and more leisure time than I. But I find those people to be frequently very unhappy. From what I've seen, when I do see these people, and I do see them on occasion, particularly the supreme upper echelon types, they don't look like they're loving every minute of it. They really don't look like they're loving every minute of it. While I get like waiting for a plane in a commercial airport is probably sucky. It's not the end of it. Traveling is not really everything they make it out to be. Like the actual traveling part sucks. The being wherever you are, you're at the beach, you're at the mountains, you're in the exotic city, you're in the whatever, like wherever the fuck you're supposed to be, right? That's the fun part. But the packing your bags, the taking the taxi, the waiting in the airport, the fucking waiting online at the airport, the waiting to get into the plane, the sitting on the plane, that's all shitty. Like, that's not great. You know what I mean? That's not the fun part. Eating a bag of fucking peanuts at 30,000 feet. I don't think that's what people dream about. They dream about whatever, like getting a pretty girl and taking a scooter ride through fucking Rome, like the fucking Cary Grant did in Roman Holiday, like whatever your fantasy is, you're gonna do. Like it's not sitting in an aluminum tube at 30,000 feet eating extra salty peanuts. But that's the actual traveling part. You know what I mean? Answering questions from government officials and having your passport stamped. That's not fun. You know what I mean? Waiting in line, people going through your fucking, open up your suitcase, go through your fucking underwear and shit. Probably not as much fun as you think it is. You know what I mean? It's being wherever you are, being at the place and doing the thing, whatever the thing is. You're surfing, you're skiing, you're going to a museum, you're at the concert hall, you're at the whatever, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. That's the fun part, but the actual traveling, that's the sucky part. That's pretty sucky. But people go, I love to travel. No, you don't love to travel. You love to be there. You love to be at the place. You don't actually like getting to the place. This is a great fucking rant. I meant to do this like 27 times in the last 6 months. And since I have something to drink, I'll take an extra minute here. Where are we at? 1 hour, 12 minutes. Thank you, Judas Fleischei, for showing up and reminding me of this particular rant. It's I'm going on a journey. You know what I mean? These people, these social media people, like, join me on my journey as I go from blah 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 to blah. Like, Anyone that's on a journey is doing something you don't need to fucking do. I travel up and down the East Coast. I don't go on journeys. I don't have a journey to Philadelphia, right? I have a drive job. I have a driving trip, right? It's a trip. I gotta have gas, fuel, blah 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 blah. Don't get a flat tire. Make my deadline. It's not a journey. I'm not experiencing the journey. You know what I mean? I'm fucking driving a fucking car from point A to point fucking B and delivering a box. So anyone that's on a journey means I'm doing shit I don't have to do. Like they sat by the pool or wherever the fuck they live, like, and said, okay, what can I do to make my life more interesting? You know what I mean? I'm going on a weight loss journey. Follow me. Join me on my weight loss journey. Follow me on Instagram or whatever shit platform where you go, look, I'm eating broccoli on my weight loss journey. You know, look at me. Here's the pyramids of Egypt on my Middle Eastern journey. Like, here's a thing that I don't have to do. Like, I have a lot of money and a lot of free time. I don't have to do it. Here's me flexing that I get to do the shit that you can't do. I fucking hate anybody who said, like, the word journey. I just want to smash them in the fucking head. Like, shut up with your fucking journey. You know what I mean? Instead of going, hey guys, look how lucky I am. I'm doing X, Y, and Z. You know, but they're like, join me on my journey from X to Y. Oh, shut the fuck up. It means you're doing something you don't have to do. If you have to fucking do it, it's a business trip or it's a job or it's whatever. It's a contract. It's whatever. Because you have to do it. But it only becomes a journey when you're just an idle fucking rich dilettante, fucking, you know, acting like the twat you are, thinking that what you're doing is super interesting. And nobody's journey is to like get their degree in chemistry. You know what I mean? Like, follow me on my 4-year journey through, you know, through chemistry and biology so I can become nobody does that. Like, that's not a journey. That's some motherfucker who's grinding shit out to get their degree. You know what I mean? They're looking, they got a career. They're looking to go to work in pharmaceuticals or whatever the fuck they got to do. Like, they want to be a chemist. They want to work at, you know, that's not a journey. It's not a journey. It's, here's where I got my degree at this technical school. Here's the chemical formulas I fucking memorize and can do. Like, that's not journey material. That's what you do to have a fucking career, you know? Anything that involves a journey is like, you know, you walking slowly past in that beauty shot as you walk past whatever, some airport, some soulful fucking airport, some bullshit. Anything with journey in it, I immediately skip. Boom, pass, delete, go by. I don't want to hear it. Just like anything with anything on Twitter that has thread. Any thread on Twitter, literally, I don't give a fuck. Twitter is 148 characters or 100 and however many characters it is. I don't give a shit. You want to write a blog? Go to some fucking blog spot. I'm watching the counter jump up and down. I guess maybe Norvin and your buddy Pito were stopped into stream snipe. But anyway, thank you for showing up, Judas Flychai, and giving me an opportunity to rant about the journey and joining me on my journey from micro niche celebrity to even less of a micro niche celebrity. But with that, it's like midnight here. And you know, tomorrow duty calls. So you might have to go. I'm going to bail out. You're going to have to watch the stream again from the beginning. It's some good stuff. And thanks for showing up. Thanks for everybody else who showed up, even if you stream sniped me. Thanks for coming with me on this journey. And I'll say goodnight, and I'll talk to you guys next week.